I like the beginning of that one.
You like that one? Oh. Well, here, we'll just do that one.
Do that.
There we go.
Yeah. I don't know where to go from here. Usually I have something to sing along with.
I can't hear you. What'd you say?
I said, usually I have something to sing along with. I don't have anything to sing along with this one.
Well, you will. Let's just do it. There we go.
There we go.
Now we're back. Hi, Rob Paisley.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Glenn. Hi, Kaleem. The chomp is here.
Working for the
weekend.
And I want to see the
show. Hi, Melody.
Book of Face.
Yeah.
Morris, I want to say hi to you, even though you didn't say hi to me. Just kidding, I'm kidding, Jeff.
Hello, Melody.
Just kidding.
Greetings, Jeff.
Hi, Ed. Hi, Bill.
What's happening? There we go. Okay. It's so cold in my studio, my fingers are frozen to the board.
It's basically winter.
I know.
I hate it. I love it because it's great for business, but I hate it for me personally. But then I got to be honest with you. I'm that person nowadays as I get older. I'm complaining if it's too hot and I'm complaining if it's even remotely cold. So I don't even care anymore.
Check your settings, Glenn. He says no sound on YouTube, but I'm betting we do. Rob Paisley, do you have sound? He's on there. It's probably on Glenn's end. Johnny Fink in the house.
Johnny. Hey, Kevin.
The Coop.
Johnny, are you home from Europe? If so, how was your trip? Hey, Bob Klein, our biggest supporter. Bob Klein, our biggest supporter right there.
He's awesome.
Always
he has
back.
Great things to say, too, always. Yeah. He's got his finger on the pulse of music.
Good. Did Stephanie have a good birthday, Johnny? Because that woman deserves that. You got to put up with your ass. Just kidding. I love you, buddy.
I got to get him to edit that theme song because Top 5 is not on Tuesday anymore.
No.
It's Hot Topic Tuesday, and that's what we're here to do.
Kevin says YouTube sound is working.
Thank you. Glenn's just got a glitch.
Jerry, hi, Scott. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Angela Combs.
Hey, I want to go see Jerry tonight. Jerry is going to be calling the bingo at Heather's. We're going there for bingo. It's my first Tuesday off in 4 years. 4 years.
You mean at Burroughs Tavern?
No.
No.
Jerry will be at Heather's.
Oh.
Tonight calling the bingo.
Bingo.
Yes. Oh, bingo. This is my first Tuesday in 4 years off, other than vacations. Yeah. Get it right, girl.
Sorry.
It's okay. Angela Combs in the house. Hi, Angela.
Oh, you know what? Danny O'Brien just reminded me. I have a really good topic we could talk about another time, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the attack on the Bell and the Bears Thursday Jam.
Oh, has someone waged war?
Yeah.
How nice.
It's been very funny.
Wow. Well, you know. Would it be the same person I know that wages war against that all the time? No.
No.
Hi, Daniel. Thanks for being here. Glenn says sound is back on the tube of you. For him, thank you.
I want to go to the bingo.
Yeah.
I should go one night. What time is it?
Well, you've only got one more week of it because it's on the patio. So it's one more week after tonight. Indeed. Hi, Kevin. How are you? Kevin Tolles. Ed, so wiki. He missed it entirely too. I'm out of touch too.
Oh, hi, Patricia. Yes. That was sweet of you, Patricia. And yes, somebody did try to, Bob, but it didn't work.
Well,
I mean, it could have. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, we had some write-ins this week.
I know, and we're excited because, guys, when you write it in, we're going to use it. So thank you. We also have a few topics that we've got coming up for the next couple of weeks. So so that's kind of exciting too. So we actually won't have, days where we're like, huh?
Can I give a hint to next week's topic?
Yeah.
Musical self-pleasure. I said it nicely.
I think we should just call it, what did I say? I'm not going to say the first one, I know, because I don't want to get you in trouble. But
Why not?
business
You always
or
do.
pleasure, you can't always have both.
Business or pleasure, you can't always have both. Interesting.
Often you cannot have both, really. So
interesting.
That's a nice way of saying perhaps musical masturbation.
I knew you'd get it in. Hey, Gary Ridgway. It was great to see you over the weekend.
Hey, Erica. I love you.
Erica, how are you?
That's
Turning Japanese. I really think so. So let's talk about these topics that got written in.
Okay.
Let's hit number 1 first.
Okay.
First topic. So would like to mention, it says, when a bar or club owner, manager / whatever, says turn down your music on the stage, do it. Really loud music is offensive and people can't order drinks because the bartender can't hear you. So turn it down when asked to. How many times have you had this happen where you've asked someone to turn it down and they're like, yeah, and as you walk away, they don't do anything?
So almost, I would say about 90% of the time. No, I'm just kidding. Probably about 75. But I have learned a lot over the years. And I think everybody and customers indeed need to listen to this, because you can't always be mad at the sound guy. A lot of times the stage volume is the issue. Actually, more times than not, the stage volume is the issue. And that is due to the individual players on the stage. Sometimes their amps are the wrong amps for a gig, for a room, for a show, and it overpowers. Sometimes they can't hear anything, whether they have in-ear monitors or what it is, they can't hear. And so really, it's sometimes the musicians on the stage volume is the problem, and it's not always the sound guy, because I run into that problem more often than not. However, okay.
Keep talking.
However, the sound guy also will, sometimes it's the first few songs, I always give a little bit of leeway, like the first few songs, because you're trying to figure it out. But what I have noticed lately, and it's been very disappointing for me, because I don't like my stage and my room being used as we'll just go and figure it out type thing. To me, I find that pretty disrespectful. And I don't care if you've been there 1 time or 10 times. Being prepared is extremely important, no matter what you're doing. So unfortunately, in the last few months, I've run into some issues where some bands have come in an hour before showtime and have done individual sound checks, not as a group. And then when it comes to time to start playing, it's awful. And sometimes they can't even start, like the music can't even start, like we've been delayed, or things are so out of whack, and they spend the whole first set trying to figure it out. And then I'm losing customers, and then I can't charge my cover to pay for this band, because who the hell's going to come in when there's no music playing, or when the sound is deafening, right? So it goes both ways. And then there's the most incredible sound guys out there that not only listen, but they are a joy to work with. So in my opinion, it's about coming in prepared, being prepared to do a full sound check, knowing the room, realizing, especially if you're new, realizing that the sound is 1,000 times different when there's you doing sound check in there, and when there's 100 people in there muffling the sound. And to be aware of the size of the room and the stage volume, which unfortunately a lot of musicians do not want to turn their stage volume down, and it becomes a lot of issues. Hence why I don't book certain people.
Who did I see over the weekend that had the shield around the drums?
A lot of people have put shields around I bought a shield for the drums.
I know. I think I saw it at your place, didn't I? This weekend, maybe. I don't know. I saw some pictures and somebody had shields around.
I don't.
I thought it's a good idea. It is sometimes.
Like I had a band 2 weeks they should have had a sound guy, but they don't. They do sound themselves, and it was extremely loud. Extremely loud. And they're on stage, and it's hard to communicate with them on stage. You know, in the middle of their set, you'd be like, turn it
Yeah,
down.
you don't want to stop their set. But,
No, but it was very loud. And that, you know.
Sorry, I had to run away there for a minute. I had to go get something. But I missed part of what you said, but I'm going to add into that because one thing, there are some really good sound engineers in our area that really do a great job, and they work hard to make sure the sound is dialed in for the room. However, I have encountered, and you have encountered people in the past that tend to have a little bit of an ego, like this bar owner doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm the sound guy and that kind of thing. And I've seen that happen in several locations. And the sad part about that is the bar owner does know what's normal for their place, and they know what the sound levels are in there. And if you come in and it's so freaking loud out of the chute like that, you should be open to suggestion. I mean, and you do. I don't know if you said it or not. You always give them a few songs to get it dialed in sometimes. and try, because it is, the first song's not a great judge sometimes of the whole night. But on the other hand, that's what, you know, sound check is tough because there's nobody in the room. The room changes so much when the room's full of people. Normally it absorbs some sound. But what I see is it's like the band plays at sound check really kind of mellow, and they're playing and they're doing all their stuff. And they get a room full of people. All of a sudden it's throttle up, kick the gas pedal to the floor and go. And that really creates a problem for the sound guy. The sound guy's got to deal with that stage volume, and it just takes one guy on stage to screw the whole thing up.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be the whole band.
No, it doesn't. And Daniel Bryan, you're 100% right. It should start at a lower level. It has to start at a lower level because the acoustics in the room are completely different when there's nobody there. And that's, to me, the key of being a good sound guy. One of my most favorite sound guys to just watch, because I know it's going to be, and so here, so let me just interrupt myself by saying this. Sometimes the volume of the sound can be really loud, but the mix of it, like it's actually mixed correctly, it just sort of balances it out, and it doesn't seem like it's loud. You know what I mean? Like so Mark Bransford and Jeff. Now I'm not even going to mention Jeff for Thursdays, because doing sound for Thursdays is not easy and completely impossible because there's so many different dynamics going on there. But he does a phenomenal job. But one of my favorite things is watching Mark, because Mark, when he does sound check, he uses this, I can't even remember the song, but he uses one song, and he does, and it's, you know, a recorded song, and he starts there and he does it from super, super high volume all the way down. So that's this first part of his sound check, and he gets the balances out and he does everything like that. And then it's slowly, hey, it's Mark. That's what I'm talking about. Mark Bransford. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, he does the song, and then he goes super, super high, super, and he does it all. He does every single step, no matter how many times he has done sound in that room, or if he's the one who picks the entire sound system, he still does every single step, and it's always impeccable sound.
Well, and he's a pro that knows that other people use that at times, and he wants to make sure it's dialed in the way he wants it dialed in. And he's got a phenomenal ear. There are several of them in town. I mean, I can go down the list of people who just do a great job. Mark is one of them. Jeff Vance, deal. I mean, that'd make you lose your hair, Jeff, if you're watching. But he did lose his hair. But doing sound on a Thursday night jam. Yeah. Because of all the moving parts there, it's like doing a festival when you're changing bands all day and those kind of things. It's very tiresome. And there's always that one guy that I can't hear myself in the monitor guy, as they call him, or whatever, that wants it at a where's Rick Kern? Is he a Rick Kern threshold of monitor mix, which is super loud.
Rick Kern's not even that bad. Now there's one of Rick Kern's guitar players has his stage volume so freaking high that I think Rick had to change spots on stage. I love him to death, but it's so high. And that that's where it kind of causes a bit of an issue. And it's no disrespect. I get it. You can't hear whatever the reasons are. I'm never not going to book that band because of that. But I do know that for a lot of sound guys, that alone is just really tough to deal with, because
and a customer identified this, sent this to us. It's not a person in a band. This is a person who goes and watches live music a lot. Right. And they identify it. And, when you do go out and watch live music a lot, you learn real quickly what's good mix and what's not. And
that's the key.
That's where people walk into a place and say, I can't do this all night. I can't listen to this, that snare drum that's just piercing my ears from start to finish, and I can't hear anybody else on stage. Right. That happens.
Right. And I've learned a lot, especially with my new system and with Mark. I mean, and just because I know the acoustics of my room. And if I'm on one side and it sounds completely different than it does on the other, something's not right. The balance is key. The mix and the balance is key. And if I tell you that something does not sound right, it's because something doesn't sound right. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but
you know your room.
I know my room.
Yeah, you know what's right.
Not sounding right. And if you can't hear that, then we have a little bit of an issue here.
I love what David Linda said up there. Besides that, they own the place. Yeah. When the owner comes to you and asks a request to turn it down, you probably ought to listen.
Yeah.
And we won't mention names. What was it the guy said to you that one night? I was absolutely blown away by it. Something, you run the bar and I'll run the sound or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was early on in the when I first bought it, right?
Yeah.
I've had that, and I was like,
it was kind of like stay in your lane, bro, that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, she owns the place. That was just band suicide.
In fact, I don't think they were really hired much after. I just didn't see much of them. But I'm going to stay in my lane, and my lane is everything that's in my fucking bar. And when you're on my stage and I'm paying you, you're on my road. You're on my road. And I'm going to respect you, and you're going to need to respect me. It's as simple
I agree.
as that. But I do want people to understand that it's not always all the time on the venue. It's not always on the sound guy. It's not always the players. It is a combination of things. It could be stage volume, sound guy, the venue system, everything. So just know that it's not as simple as saying the sound was off. It's never as simple as saying the sound is off.
And Matthew Matheny, that's great. Matthew travels around. He plays clubs. He walks in and has a sound guy there, those kind of things, travels the country. And I will say you're right. Try to get along with the sound guy, too, if you're an artist, because they can make or break you as well. And the last thing you want to do, because sound guys are traditionally, and Mark Bransford is an exception, Jeff is but a lot of sound guys are traditionally grumpy. They've put up with shit their whole life, and they're grumpy. And, if you're an artist, if you can do what they need you to do, they'll be happy, and not stand out in the middle of the room with your guitar saying, I need more 4K and this and that. No, they know what they're doing, most of them. I mean, most guys really get a clue of what's happening. And as the customer, think about it, Karis. This guy's writing to us saying he's noticing this as a customer. He can't order a drink at the bar because it was so freaking loud.
And that's something
that's a problem.
That's a huge problem. And when I get to that point of my conversation with a sound guy, that's usually the second time I've had to approach them. I don't want to have to approach a sound guy. Jeff does do a fabulous job. A sound guy more than once. I really don't want to. I also think people need to know the sound is not the same in every single room that you play. It cannot be the same.
No.
Each room is different, and you need to respect that. And that takes a really good sound guy and, musicians. This takes experience. It takes that. And it's okay if you're not experienced, and it's okay if you're not the greatest yet, and you're working to become that. We all start somewhere. Just don't be a dick about it.
Hey, I want to know too from Mark Bransford. If you're still out there, Mark, I want to know what song you used to tune. because that's when I ask all the sound guys what song they use sometimes to tune their system. I'd love to know which one you use. I need to get back. I want to say, Chad, thank you for ordering the swag today. You have 5 more days, folks, if you want to order any of our support local music stuff prior to Christmas season. So this will be our only order until the first of the year. So get them in, and the link's on our page, and they'll deliver it to you. They'll ship it right to you if you want. So it's that simple. What else you got? What do you see there? I see you looking at something.
Matthew's telling me, you can piss me off. It's okay.
Rule number 2, never piss off Karis. I like it.
No, you should piss me off.
Dave Wade in the house.
Hey guys, I'm tardy, so I'm sure I missed some things. Having said that, live music is loud. Yep, it is. It's not the same as a jukebox or general background music, but it has to be manageable. If people are in pain, I beg my fellow musicians to understand how what we do as individuals impacts the domino effect. So here's the thing, and that's what I'm saying. Live music is loud. But how it's mixed and the balance of it, it doesn't matter as long as it's done correctly. But that's what if I'm taking what I'm taking out of Dave Wade's thing is if we've got one player whose stage volume is just over the top, that is a domino effect. That's going to affect it. It's hard for the sound guy to work around that. It's just that's what I'm gathering after speaking to I'm not a professional by any means, but it's a domino effect.
Well, you were saying something too, how like every time Mark comes in, he mixes it down and, and gets everything ready. And this new technology that's out there today allows you to save scenes and things like that. So for the room, so you can have a general idea, but still you need to come in because everything's variable. It depends on the players, the drummer, how loud the drummer is, and how much compensation then the guitar players do to get over the drummer. And pretty soon you've got this stage volume that's at 100, and that's where the problem lies many, many days. And it's a musician-based problem.
Yes, it is.
The sound guys don't typically want to bleed everybody's ears.
No,
but to get the vocals up, they have to sometimes.
Yes, and I mean, I can't believe I've had to start saying this, especially with, the bands that I've had these problems with lately are bands that have been playing my stage for quite a few years. So the fact that I've had to add in my speech when it comes to, not my speech, but what I say to bands now to every band is I say, I need to make sure you're coming in a couple of hours early to do a full sound check. Like I actually have to say this to professionals now, and that pisses me off.
Well,
Mark.
Who wants to start 2 hours late because you had a sound problem that you could have fixed 2 hours ago?
Right, like poor Mark. I'm like calling him and Jeff, being like, "What the fuck? Help me get out of this cell!" Because it sucks. And they could not have made it any easier, on how to make work the system. And I don't know. It's infuriating. It's infuriating, but it is what it is.
I think it was a good thing that somebody wrote to us. Thank you, Jim McCarthy, for putting the link in there for our support local music apparel. Thank you for that. Hello, Nicole.
You're right, Bob Klein. It comes down to self-awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it always does. But the band has to have a hand in this. It's easy to blame the sound guy.
It is.
It's too loud. Talk to the sound man. Well, he's compensating, again, to get the vocals up where somebody can actually intelligently hear them over your loudness from the stage.
Yep.
And rock and roll is loud. Dave Wade said it best. It's loud music. It's meant to be loud. Yeah. But I will go back to the old days of DV8. One of the first things I noticed was Todd Buck and his ear and his ability to mix. And like you said, Karis, it was loud, but it was perfectly mixed. So then in turn, it sounds really good to everyone. There's nothing that's obscenely bad coming into your ear like some people have. It's just
there's nothing wrong with being loud. Loud is fine. It's what's the loudness? It's the mix, it's the balance. That's what makes it not okay. That's what makes it not
absolutely
okay. So I just want everybody to be aware that it's not always the sound guy. It's not always the venue or the owner. It's not always the musician. It's a combination. It's something. So, there's a lot more to it than just being like, well, this sound guy sucks, or this venue sucks, or it's never black or white.
Yeah, Kevin, that's another sign of a pro that Mark is. And every time we circle back to Mark, because Mark is that guy who has set up the scene there, the default
Jeff and Mark
band or
has done
whatever.
that. I'd like to give Jeff some credit for that too. Like they both really, yeah.
It's a good thing. And if you walk in there to play, don't reinvent the wheel. It's invented for you already. You don't have to say, well, I got to do my own. And I mean, that's never going to work. It's going to be a nightmare for you. So just take the pros' advice. And like, I didn't want to single Mark out too, because I do realize Jeff is another one who's just, he's one of those guys that doesn't get rattled. That's what I loved about both of those guys. For Women Who Rock. There were so many moving parts to that show. It could have made a sound man just collapse. But these guys just did it. They just made it happen. Nothing rattled them. It was a cool day.
Mark is still, to this day, yesterday he sent me another one, is sending me mixes of songs, performances from that day. I mean, it is.
They're phenomenal.
I have to tell you, are you getting them too? You're getting them too?
Yeah, they're album quality mixes.
I know.
They're so good.
I mean, I don't think that room had ever, first of all, the sound was incredible and the lighting was incredible. I'd like to talk about lighting. I would like to sneak in there with a little bit of a talk about lighting. And this is in favor of the photographers and what makes the musicians on stage in pictures. Get rid of the blues. The blue is awful. It is awful.
You dislike blue, don't you, on stage?
No, no, it looks awful with the musicians. If you're going to have, it's got to be the super, super light baby blue, if that. But the blue, it really does not do service to the room. Like the pictures. The pictures they're not aesthetically nice because not everybody has a professional camera. Some of us just use our iPhones, and it doesn't look that nice. We got to get rid of that blue.
Did you catch? I took a bunch of pictures at a show Saturday. 98% of them were all red. The lights, I mean, all they had was they have these big rows of LED lights, and they just turned them on this wash, so it would switch from red to blue to green. It was awful for pictures. It was terrible for pictures. And get rid of the yellow too. Kevin Cooper says, yeah, that makes you look like you're jaundiced. Let's see. Unless you're playing the blues, Kareem says. But okay.
Good point, Mark.
Yeah. And Nikki taking pictures. She says it's red and blue are terrible.
Mason Johnson, you're on here. You cannot escape me. I must ask you a question. Will you compete in the shred off, sir?
Boy, you're on the spot, Mason Johnson, right now. Right now, Mason Johnson put on the spot. He's not answering. Come on, Mason.
I'm going to stop the show.
I don't know.
No, that's a yes. I know what maybe means. I'm a woman. I know what maybe means. Come on, do it. Part of it somehow.
Come on, Mason. Just say yes. Yes. Shred.
Yeah, I want everybody, all of these guitars. I want you all to come and have some fun and shred. There's $500 to win.
It's a one-night deal too, right?
Yeah, it's just one night.
Yeah, one night only. One night only. Hey, let's we've hit this one now, and thank you guys for all your comments. But let me pop up here and look at the next one as well.
See, look at Ed. Any color that overwhelms all other hues is bad for photography. Blues can make people look sick. Exactly. No more blue.
It's kind of like the dun-dun-dun-dun. Yeah, you look a little pale, ghostly. All right, let me look here. The other one, besides the and Chris is late to the party and wants to know what he missed. Go back and watch, Chris. Yes, go back and watch.
Chris Reese.
Yes, late.
Really
the next one was, and it was interesting because it kind of segues into this, is distractions in a club. And it says, how about a topic when a musician plays to turn off all the TVs? Now, I don't necessarily agree with this one, but I do agree with getting rid of TVs behind the musicians. I think it's extremely distractive if it's behind someone playing. That's my
I think
opinion.
it's not only distracting, I think it's disrespectful to have a TV behind people playing. I think that should be 100% turned off. But I don't think that there's any problem with having other TVs turned on. It's a business as well. You know what I mean? People like sports, whether somebody does or somebody doesn't. We live in a world where some people like live music and sports. And one of the most common questions that I get, and that's why I didn't put TVs anywhere near the stage. You know what I mean? It's the stage is its own entity. But that's one of the questions that I get most. Are you going to have the game on tonight with the live music? Yes, of course we're going to have the game on. Because people want to enjoy live music and they want to enjoy the game. Bye, Kareem.
Thanks, Kareem. Mason wants to know, have you posted any details?
Well, the details is, I think it starts, at 6:30, and you have, I don't know, we're coming up with its time, but you got like up to 2 or 3 minutes to do your shred. You do whatever you want, bro.
Man, this is
pretty simple.
Cool. It's cool.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is cool.
Yeah, and we're going to do there's going to be judges and everything. You just do you, and I want to hear you do you.
Dave Wade says TVs behind the band are great when your favorite team scores a touchdown.
Well, that's true. I didn't even
think
about that.
But you know what I like is, and first time I saw it in a local establishment was down at.
Can I just interrupt you, Mason? There aren't any set details or rules yet, but I can tell you right now, like Scotty and I have been talking about it, and it's so far we know it's going to be like a couple of minutes. But I mean, we want people to feel free on stage to just shred, to do their thing. That's the main thing. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Sorry, I'm very sorry.
No, it's fine. Let me say that first time I saw it really done well was when Hollywood was down at Pullman Lanes, and he had 2 TVs behind the bands there, but he had the ability to switch those to the band logos. So
that's cool.
So basically you could put the band logos back there, or, you know, and then on the breaks, it would show, like when the band was off playing, it would show upcoming events and things going on at the bar, which I thought was really cool. So basically it's basically a video wall behind the band that you could do. And that was a cool idea.
Yeah.
And, you know, but I'm with anyone else, I think, would agree that it's extremely disrespectful and distractive if there's a big screen TV going on behind you playing, unless it has your logo on it or has a video with you on it as you're playing. I mean, that's, you know, if it's a big room, sometimes like Laurie's Roadhouse has the 2 big ones beside the stage, works really well if they have a video crew for people in the back. But
absolutely,
you know, concerts do it all the time. But just to throw, you know, the game on TV, or the worst part is when there's no game and they leave the TV on and it's something, you know, Iron Chef or something playing behind them. Yeah. It's just silly.
Unfortunately, you know, it's a business, and some people want to come to the game, and some people want to come for the music, and some people want to come for both. And as in my opinion, as long as there's no TVs behind the band, because I find that disrespectful, then I don't think you should worry. You know, if it's bothering you that somebody's not staring at the stage and they're looking at a TV that's nowhere near the stage, well, that seems like a really odd thing to be upset about.
Kevin Cooper, that's an interesting comment.
That's a very interesting
comment.
I
saw that happen last year a lot when the Bengals made it, and it was interesting to see what happened there. And people getting canceled on right and left because and is that okay for a venue owner to do that? I mean, is it like, I've seen venue owners say, we'll start the music after the game's over.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a bad idea. You're still getting paid. You're still doing your thing. You're playing. Maybe you're not going to have a huge crowd at 2 a.m., but, you know, it's one of those things. I don't know. That's a whole different show.
Mark. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I think, listen, nobody knows. I don't think anybody, I mean, I don't think anybody planned for the playoff thing, but I think I think this goes back to really contracts and stuff like that, right? A venue can pretty much do whatever they want to do. As a musician can pretty much do whatever they want to do, and you know, unless, especially if there's no contract, you know. you can put in there, let's say, maybe that's something that a band should do, like start doing. If we go to playoffs, we still require 50% of our take if you're going to cancel the band due to playoffs. You know what I mean? But it's the same as booking a gig outdoors. Does it make it right? Probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to be a little flexible. If
Yeah.
if your team is going to the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl, most people should know when the Super Bowl is, and should be able to plan for that in advance. But I get both sides. What's that?
Isn't there a camera facing the stage, mounted on the ceiling, at the B&B stream through some of TVs? No, that's a projector. Because on Sundays, I would bring out a projection. I put up a projection screen when we were in the playoffs. So Sunday afternoons during the game, I just put the game on there.
Thank you, Kevin, for answering that also. Yeah. But there are a lot of venues who have gone to doing that are bigger venues that have cameras and things, and they're droned on the stage.
Yeah.
And a lot of the bigger clubs in Nashville and places you go, they have that, and you can see the artist. So wherever you're sitting. Like that. You can see it, which is all right. I mean, that's cool, but that's the purpose of the TVs behind them or the video walls or whatever. Right. I love these little bars that say, here's your stage, and it's a corner of the room, and you go set up there and you play in the corner with 3 TVs, like in the angle behind you. That just, why do you have music? Just have the TVs on and be done with it. I mean, it's just silly.
Right.
And what's Bob got to say here? Hey guys, if you're watching the show too, hit that little share button when you get a chance at some point throughout the day. We'd appreciate that, and give us some love here. We've had some good viewership on the show recently, and we appreciate your support. Live viewers are a little down today, but we're okay with that.
I wonder why. What day? Oh, it's Tuesday.
What day is it, Karis? What are you eating?
Oh,
magic mushrooms. No. Oh God, nerds.
Nerd.
You are a nerd.
I'm a nerd.
Yes. I've been giving dum-dums away to the biggest losers at my games recently.
Dum-dums?
It's kind of fun. Dum-dums, yeah. That's their prize for being the biggest loser. Let's see.
Cookie.
If OSU plays, we mutually agreed to cancel. Yeah. Never go up against the Buckeyes and Columbia. You're smart to talk about that in advance, though, and that's what's going to happen. And it's going to go down the tubes if it does, and that's the way it works. Taco Tuesday, Kenny says. Hi, Kevin, and Shane wants to know if someone said magic mushrooms. Yes, Karis is eating them disguised as nerds today. Disguised as nerds. What day is the 4th of July next year? Thank you, Kevin. Genius.
It's not magic mushrooms. It's nerds.
Carla wants to know what you're snacking on.
Nerds.
Snacking.
Nerds.
What you have seen today is the result of someone writing into the show and giving us a couple of topics that when they were out, they noticed. And that's what we'd like for this show. We'd like you to submit it. Believe me, we tax our brains sometimes on what we want to talk about. Now, next week, we do have a topic already, but if you send us those, we'll add them to the list. And they'll get on. I don't think we've had one written in yet that we haven't done.
Yeah, we'll always do your topic unless it's political, and we'll always, about a certain venue, like attacking a certain venue. But
yeah, we won't do that.
No, we won't do that. But just please send them in. We want you guys to be a part of this. We won't say your name if you don't want it. Just help us out. Let's make this a great show. Next week will be a little steamy.
Musical self-pleasure.
Musical masturbation.
Yes. Won't that be fun?
Well, it's a good one, though.
It is a good one. It's a really good one, actually.
We actually have talked about it before. But I don't think it will be hurt to be addressed again.
Do you ever wonder why everything we talk about on here circles back around to having a mutual respect for you and the venue? I mean, the band and the venue and the band, and having a respect for humans in the audience too, who call things to your attention sometimes, like, hey, it's so freaking loud. My ears are bleeding. I'm going to leave, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and you can see it, man. You can see a mass exodus out of a place.
I mean,
the first chance they get, if somebody says, oh, we're going to take a break for a minute and it's too loud, it's like a vacuum.
You know why I sit where I sit? For a couple of reasons. I sit where I sit on that side because I can see almost everything. I can see what's happening at the bar. I can see the stage. I can see the exit and enter door. I can see people sneaking in and out with a bottle. I can see everything. I quite literally try to have eyes in every option, and I can take care of it then. And the one thing that I do every single time I'm there is I take note. What songs are playing, when they're playing, what is happening at the door when those songs are playing, who's walking out the door when these certain songs are playing, and how repetitive it is. I look at people's faces. I look at it all. And I don't say anything until it starts becoming a repetitive issue. And some bands are more difficult for me to deal with because they've been around a long time. And they don't care.
You ever have your door guys do an exit survey when people leave? I mean, in a roundabout way, not like a formal thing, but just hey, where are you guys going? You know?
Yes, I always do because I ask that question, so they know to do. They're like, some of them are like, oh, they're just going to the comedy show, or they're like, it's too loud, or they didn't enjoy the music or something like that.
Because in this day and age, people aren't afraid to tell you if something's wrong.
No,
or they didn't used to.
If somebody didn't enjoy the music, and I know that they're a good band, that's all objective. That's, you know, some people like rock, some people don't. You know what I mean? Now, if it's something that it's like too loud and I'm sensitive to volume too. I give a shit what people are saying when they're leaving, especially when they're leaving so quickly after they paid to get in.
Well, the person that hurts besides you as the venue is the new band who comes in and really does a good job of sound and comes in the next week. And those people who might have come in and really become friends of that band or like that band never get the opportunity because they're like, we're not going back in there. It's too loud. Yeah. And they go somewhere else. Yeah. You know, and you do have a tight room. I mean, you have a room it's not one of those, 4,000 seat venues. No. It's a tight room. So if something's off, it's noticed by people. It's super noticed. And immediately. We also have a really good mix of people that are not just people who like to go out to see live music, and they don't really know anything behind the scenes. And then people who actually know a ton about live music behind the scenes and what it should sound like. So it does matter. It matters so much more in like a venue like mine where we get the people that know, because it's a reputation. You know what I mean? That's important. It's the band's reputation. It's the venue's reputation. You know what I mean? It's like, you have to care. Sound matters. To care. Sound matters. Care, then stop asking to get booked. And that comes up. That's a little tiny sneak peek of next week. Next week. Yes. I don't even want to think about next year yet, but yeah, next week. It's not that far away. Shane DeMoss, thank you for that shameless plug for our merch. Thank you. Or I hate calling it merch, our apparel, but we appreciate that. And, I get weekly sent pictures from people that are out somewhere and spot somebody in one of our shirts or our hoodies. Thank you guys so much for that. Awesome. It really makes me feel great. And then those of you that go on vacation and take it and send pictures like they do of your Bell and the Bears stuff, it's so heartwarming to see them, packing it in their suitcase and taking a photo and sending it back to us. It's great. And, it's only here, like I said, we don't make money off this. Any money we make off it's a fundraiser, as it's called, with the folks that do it for us. When they give us that money back, we put it right back into shirts and give them away at events and things. So nice. It's a wash. And I'm not doing it to like have a clothing store by any way, shape, or form, but it's really gone over well. And some big name people have worn them on stage too, which is kind of fun. And I like that. That's cool stuff. So Derek St. Holmes took one. And, nice. We'll see where he and Tommy and Britt have them. So you never know where they may pop up too from that event. Karis, you have anything else on this topic today? No, I think we did really well on this topic, though. Yeah, I think so too. And we guys, we appreciate your input too.
Yeah.
You guys that write in comments and all that. It's fun. Sometimes they get lost in the shuffle here. We go back and look at them all the time and read them after the fact. And it's fun to see how much you guys interact and have advice for people and all that. And can't thank some of you enough, like Bob Klein and those folks who always are on here daily on the Tuesday show doing their thing. All Around Town thongs are not in the works yet.
Oof.
But we
really uncomfortable.
We do have size 52 granny panties that'll have our
I'll
logo
take
on
those.
the back.
Granny panties are ridiculously comfortable. I don't know
Yes.
why I refuse to take. You get older, you want comfort.
They're suitable for throwing at the stage too, ladies. If you want to get them and throw them at the musicians, they're suitable for that as well.
Perfect.
So how about that? That's all I
I
got
brought
today.
on stage to Kathy at her show the other week.
Who did?
I did.
You threw your panties?
No, my bra. I don't wear underwear.
Oh.
I threw my bra on stage to Kathy. But then I asked her back because bras are very expensive.
Yeah. Can I have it back? Indian giver. I love it. Kenny says all or nothing. Yes. Shane can do some killer high kicks in a thong. Oh, is that like the Samoan kick? That's what I
Yeah.
want to know. Yes. So, yeah, I think you just sprouted some ideas here. You're getting some whats when you said you don't wear underwear.
Oh,
So there. Yes. That's it. What's Bob saying?
No.
Rock house
We
booty
did
shorts.
booty shorts. Oh,
Rock this on the back. That's cool.
guys, don't get too excited. I'm just kidding. I wear massive granny panties. Pants. There.
You just ruined it for everybody. Way to go. Way to go. Man, that's terrible.
This
What a loser.
loser.
What a loser. Hey, thanks for being with me today, co-hostess with the mostess.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I love it. Parachute pants. Yeah, it's exactly.
And we can break dance in them. Won't that be fun?
Did you hear that poor break dancer that
She quit.
I feel so bad for her. But
Oh my God, don't feel bad for her. It's all a big setup.
But I
I'm
also
telling
am
you.
like, what were you thinking? I don't even. The worst thing is that did you see her commercial? Like, they were like doing like a competition. She made this thing. If you can break dance better than me, like a legit thing, you win like $100,000 or something. And even that wasn't that impressive. Commando carrots.
Thanks, Chris Reese. I added that in.
That's hilarious.
I hope it's spelled right. I was typing rapidly. Angela, good to see you Saturday. Thank you. You're running late and you walk into the word underwear. Yes. You never know what may come up on this show. Thank you, Kevin. Carl, thanks. Good for you being on here, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
And, Carla, thank you as well. Hey, guys, we'll be back tomorrow with our Live at 5 programming where I'm bringing you, or I'm sorry, tomorrow's Wednesday, isn't it? I don't even know what day it is.
Tomorrow's Wendy. That's true, Mark.
Tomorrow, I have Billy Sutherland from White Knuckle Weekend and Brian Lahif, however you want to say it, joining me from White Knuckle Weekend as well at noon tomorrow. So if you want to find out about that band, tune in and listen to us talk music. Thursday, Who's Playing Out, brought to you by our friends at Heather's in Springboro. It's the best musicians and venues in the tri-state. And who's playing where? And what do you got going this weekend, Karis?
Ooh, what do we got? Well, tomorrow we have a really special show. We have Scotty Bratcher and Danny Frazier taking the stage tomorrow, Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Thursday, we have our jam session. Friday, we have the Michelle Robinson Band. And on Saturday is our biannual glow party with the Whammies. Please get there early because it is insane. So
Can I say I ran into Mike at lunch today from the Whammies? What a nice guy he is.
he's such a nice guy.
He really is. And
Yeah.
Mike's a wonderful person. I was having lunch with my buddy Hollywood and we ran into him. So it was nice to do that.
Tell Hollywood I say hi next time you see him.
I will. He's doing well as always and doing his thing down there in Hamilton at the Hub, they call it. Hamilton's urban backyard. We'll give him a shameless plug too. Thanks for watching today, guys. Get out to the Bell and the Bear this weekend for all those great things going on. This show has been brought to you by our friends at the Bell and the Bear. And we were playing a song when we opened. Karis, you said you really liked it.
Well, I like the beginning.
Let's leave with it. It's our friend Benny Bodine, but it's his rock band called Next to Nowhere. So
Perfect.
Here it comes. Let's do it. We're out of here. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
This one's called Next to Nowhere. It is. Notice I don't play drums well. Bye, Melody.
Bye, Melody.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, look at this picture of us. This is a great picture right here.
I love that picture of us.
Thank you, Ed Sawicki, for that great picture. That's wonderful. It is.
When it's over, and not divide today.
Thanks, Benny Bodine and Next to Nowhere. That's the title track of their album. It's called Next to Nowhere. A little shameless plug for Benny. We're out of here, everybody.
Bye.